What is up, ladies and gentlemen? Welcome back. This is, and we are, the Vertcoin Core. Today is July 23rd, 2021. Be sure to like, join the conversation in the comments below, and subscribe if you have not done so already. Market cap, 26 million. Volume, 233,000. Circulating supply, 61,019,000 Vertcoin. Right now, the price is 43 cents. 1,308 Satoshis against a Bitcoin value of 33,542 United States fiat. Before we go any further, I do want to take a moment to congratulate the community once again for this success. Vertcoin has finally been listed for swap on Changelly.com, not just on Changelly Pro anymore. We're actually on Changelly now. From what I understand, the volume has really been picking up over there, so congratulations to the community and thanks to the Changelly team for making that happen. Diving now right into the charts, you can see that we are kind of sidestepping our way out of this formation, not really getting the big blast off we were looking for. We didn't get rejected to the downside, at least not yet, but we are out of this formation. We're out of the small descending wedge, we're out of the larger descending wedge. We're actually just kind of riding this top edge here, but it looks like we're actually kind of gonna bounce off this lower line of the inside wedge here until we have cleared this larger wedge. At least that's what I'm hoping for. We could very well, we've seen some bearish price action here in the last couple of hours, so we could potentially see a fall back into this wedge, into the larger wedge. It's a very real possibility. So we'll kind of see how this plays out. What I'm hoping for is that we finally get the sideways price action I've been yelling about for weeks now. I want to see this thing kind of start to go sideways. We had a big run up here, right? And if you look at the way Vertcoin performs, you get a big run up, you have to kind of come down, and it's almost like the bigger the run up, the longer you have to go before you can get another one, right? So I've really been looking for some sideways price action here. I've kind of been looking for it this whole time here, but now the situation has kind of really made it to where it's perfect for us to go ahead and get some of that sideways price action now, and eventually go ahead and finally break through this 4,000 Satoshi line. All right, I want to show you guys something real quick. Lately, I've been comparing Vertcoin against other cryptos chart to chart. And here we have Vertcoin pulled up against USD, and I have this chart going back all the way to October of last year, right? And I have it going back that far because most cryptocurrencies did have a low point at about that time period to kind of compare off of, right? Basically what I'm doing is comparing the lows to the highs to where we are now, right? And we'll get to all of that here in a second. I actually did a lot of math on all this to kind of have all this information available and ready for all of you. All right, so here we go. We're gonna real quick swap over to the Litecoin chart, and it should be pretty much lined up. So check this out. One thing that I want you to pay attention to is the timing of these spikes. Okay, follow me. Here we go. Litecoin chart. All right, so we know we had a spike here right around the end of January, and that first little one that you see, that first little bump that you see, didn't occur till the end of January. Okay, so here you see it going all the way back to October. Litecoin steadily climbed, steadily. All right, here we go. It finally reaches a high here January 11th or so, and then starts to retrace all the way to the end of the month. Vertcoin, on the other hand, does nothing the entire time, and then they're at the end of the month when Litecoin has finally started to dwindle all the way back down. Vertcoin suddenly pumps straight through it, right? So let's jump back over to Litecoin. Litecoin slowly then starts to pick back up and eventually reaches a new peak here on this 20th of February. Vertcoin slowly creeps up, gets behind, and blasts forward. Okay, at this point, I'm actually going to go ahead and show you guys the superimposition that I made of the Vertcoin chart over the Litecoin chart. Now, what I had to do, and I'll show you why, Let's see, do I have this? on hand. I'll go ahead and show you the charts first, right? I'll show you what I did afterwards. Okay, so right now what I did is I actually had to shrink down the Litecoin chart, because basically what it wants to do is show you as much of the chart as it can, so it would brought this peak here all the way up to the top of the screen. But Litecoin didn't actually go up as high as Vertcoin did, okay? And I will show you guys the math on all of this as we move forward, all right? But here we go. You see that Vertcoin got behind here, shot up. Got behind again, shot up. Traveled up just like everything else. Rather slowly though, got behind, shot up. All right, so by the time that the rest of the cryptocurrency market, Litecoin, Bitcoin, Ethereum, everything started to peak out and go down, Vertcoin had already been on its way down for some time because it shot up so high. Like, this is the Bitcoin to USD chart, right? This is taking you all the way back to the bull run of 2017, 2018. So you can see this here, and right now we doubled, tripled the previous all-time high, and right now we're still, after coming down as far as we have, we're still above previous all-time high. So then we'll go to Ethereum against USD. All right, now let's take a look at this. What do we got? Basically the same thing. Pretty much doubled, if not tripled, the previous all-time high. Has come down significantly, but is still above the previous all-time high. All right, let's move on. Just to give you guys an idea of how big of an effect Ethereum is on the total market cap of the altcoins, that's all coins excluding Bitcoin, there's hardly a change. The market cap chart is almost identical to the Ethereum chart. So that's how big of an effect, or how much weight Ethereum carries with the altcoins. So there we go. This is all the altcoins right here. You see it basically did the same thing. Up 2-3 times, is down after all of this bearishness, and is still above previous all-time high. Now, let's go over to Litecoin against USD. Litecoin is pretty much head-to-head. It pretty much just went up as far as previous all-time high, has come down significantly, but is still, you know, a good ways up the mountain in comparison to the previous all-time high. Now let's look at Vertcoin against USD. You can't even see the top of the previous all-time high. I actually have to shrink this down so that you can actually see how this rally, this cycle that we're in right now, actually compares to the previous Vertcoin high, to the previous Vertcoin bull run. Way up here, this actually broke $12. All right, here we are, 43 cents. Not even close. It's not even tried yet. All right. Okay, so this is where I show you how I did the math. Right here over the chart, you can see I have two lists, right? Basically what I did is I went back to October of last year. So basically the low for that time for Bitcoin was 10,500. For Litecoin, it was $43. For XRP, it was 17 cents. For ETH, $333. And for Vertcoin, 13 cents. Now, to the high of this previous cycle, the one that we're still in, Bitcoin got up to 65,000. Litecoin got up to $413. XRP, $1.96. ETH, $4,383. Vertcoin, $2.34. Then what I did is divided the lower number into the higher number to get how many times you would multiply, how many times gains you would make if you had been holding to all the way back in October. All right. So if you've been holding Bitcoin the entire time, you would have made gains of 6.19x. Litecoin, 9.6x. XRP, 11.52x. ETH, 13.16x. Vertcoin, 18x. It's true. It's true. And that's how I came up with that chart. If you look, Vertcoin actually did spike twice as high as Litecoin. All right, so that's how that chart came to be. Then what we've got over here is where we are now, right? So if you'd been holding the entire time still and you rode Bitcoin all the way down to 32K, right now you're just over 3x up. Litecoin just under 2.81x. XRP, you're down to 3.47x. ETH, you're down to 6.08x. And Vertcoin, 3.38x. So not great. You see that we did come down substantially, even though we had exceedingly surpassed all of the other major altcoins in gains on the way up. And the reason I would say this Vertcoin to USD chart is so bullish is because if you look at this, we are not even halfway up to all-time high against USD here. All right, we're like a quarter of the way, maybe even a third. No, we're like a quarter of the way up. All right, so by comparison, how far Litecoin is against its all-time high, how high Bitcoin is against its previous high, we've got a long way to go just to even stack up when it comes to comparing against the previous bull run of 2017. And that actually would make sense if we were to continue this trend here. If we were to continue this trend going up this way and eventually suddenly spike upward here in the very near future, we could continue this trend here and we'd be up to almost $4. We'd be up to about $4, and only then would we be up by comparison to where Litecoin is against its all-time high. But why am I so bullish on Vertcoin? To answer that question, we're first going to stop over here to craft.co, a website that basically gives information on different companies and stuff like that. They do refer to Vertcoin as a company here. I know it's going to be cringe to a lot of people out there. Just bear with me. I'm going to go ahead and read this overview to really kind of start to get into why I'm so bullish on Vertcoin. All right, and this is very complicated stuff here, so bear with me. Vertcoin is a digital currency that can be sent between people over the internet. The company is not controlled by large banks or mining hardware manufacturers and can be mined by anyone profitably. Distributed without pre-mine, ICO, or airdrop, Vertcoin is developed by community members working as volunteers, and the project is wholly funded by donations. Here's a pretty good look at the development team. I know we have a lot of familiar faces here. Some of these, I'm not sure how up to date all of this is. I know Brian Goodson's been around for a while. I don't know if he still is. Some of these faces on here I'm not too familiar with. A lot of the names on here I am aware of. But as you will see here, number one, right up front, is the Vertcoin community. We have James Lovejoy, who is a very talented developer. He's our lead developer. We have Gert Yap, who's also amazingly talented. But number one, up front and center, Vertcoin community. That's you, me, anyone holding Vertcoin, anyone mining. That's us, the community. Number one. And then real quick, just for funds on here, you have a page that shows Vertcoin's competitors. And I wouldn't really consider these to be Vertcoin's competitors just because they do so many other things. VeChain leverages blockchain to solve problems of counterfeits and product traceability across supply chains and blah, 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 blah. And Genesis Global Trading. Genesis is an institutional trading platform, is a trading firm focused on providing two-sided liquidity for digital blah, blah, blah. Bancor is a protocol for creating intrinsically tradable cryptographic tokens and earn and blah, blah, blah. All right, then you get over here to Vertcoin. Vertcoin is a digital currency that can be sent between people over the internet. Simple. It's a currency. It's a digital currency, straight up and down. Premier, top tier digital asset. And I hear people ask all the time, well, what is Vertcoin's use case? That is Vertcoin's use case. Vertcoin has the exact same use case as the #1 cryptocurrency in the world. Exact same thing. Literally the exact same thing, except one of them is controlled by mining farms and the other isn't. So what is Vertcoin's use case? Ladies and gentlemen, Vertcoin is the people's coin. You can mine it at home. It's a cryptocurrency just like Bitcoin. If Bitcoin's value isn't proven, I mean, sure, the whole store of value thing, great and everything like that, but it's a currency. It's a cryptocurrency meant to be sent between people over the internet, just like Vertcoin. Along with the people's coin, you may have seen Vertcoin start to be referred to as the gamer's coin. And that is because you can mine while you game. That's right, you can actually mine Vertcoin while you play games on your computer, right? This is something that is extremely difficult to do with Ethereum, if you can do it at all. It is very intensive on the system. Not really a good thing to do, but Vertcoin is so efficient, Verthash rather is so efficient that it can be mined relatively easily without causing too much strain on your system, on your graphics cards, and you can actually still play video games while you do it. On the subject of Verthash, we have this post from user Strunchzes, 6 months ago, who says Verthash freaking WOWgorithm, right? The English is a little broken here, so do bear with me. It says, I'm an active miner since 2016, and now I get my hands on Verthash. I just realized how a masterpiece of coding is this algorithm. Never seen an algo before when power limit lowered to minimum gives the same hash rate as power set at 100%. 4 1080 Ti's at lowest possible power limit is literally freezing. Card stays at 36 degrees. What will for sure extend the lifespan of whole equipment. What is more, it only consumes 600 watts per whole rig. He says, my friend told me he can play games when mining. Looking at the fact that GPU is not doing much, it can be true, and I believe him. In comparison to ETH algorithm, hash rates dropped much when lowered power consumption below 64%. ETH uses at least 750 watts on this rig. ETH uses a lot of VRAM. You cannot play games while mining. Absolutely true. And you have all this awesomeness combined with the simplicity of the Oneclick miner. Ladies and gentlemen, this thing is a powerhouse. Literally, all you have to do is download it, come up with a password, write that password down so that you never lose it, and start mining. This screen grab that I have right here says stop mining. That's because the only time it says start mining is after you've hit stop mining. As soon as you open this thing, it starts mining. One click. Here you can see this person with this card, whatever it may be, is getting about 2 VTC a day. You're doing about 228 kilohash. And all of that mining power combines into the Vertcoin hash rate, which is now up to 3.02 gigahash. And you can see it's been pretty stable ever since the launch of Verthash. I actually have this backed all the way up. If I bring it back any further, you can see right there where it kind of falls off. This is where Verthash was launched, and things have been really stable ever since. We did kind of have a bit of a spike here, but yeah, it's coming along nicely. Very good. That's what securing the network looks like. And that's another thing that makes Vertcoin so great. The fact that along with securing the network and making decisions for the network via one GPU, one vote, any funding that is necessary to improve the coin or the network or get listed on any kind of exchanges or anything like that, all of that funding comes from the community. We pay for everything ourselves. Anything that needs to be done, we don't have big stockpiles of cash. We don't have super rich developers, people that are sitting on, umpteenth, coins that can just fart this stuff out. Anything that needs to get done, no pre-mine, no insta-mine. This is all on us. So, I mean, when we take care of it, don't get me wrong. I mean, if you're new to Vertcoin, or if you're thinking about getting in, don't be discouraged by this and think, oh man, they're going to be asking me for money. Guys, no, we get this stuff done. When Verthash needed to be built, we took a donation for that. It got done. Verthash is happening now. Changelly, what you're seeing right here. Changelly, you know, had a pretty steep amount that they wanted for a listing. We collected it. No problem. Handed it over, and now here we are on Changelly. Check us out. Absolutely phenomenal. But so what? Vertcoin can do all these things. It's all decentralized and community owned and operated and all this good stuff. But who cares? We have Bitcoin. It can do everything, right? Well, I'm going to use this article from Cointelegraph about the Lightning Network to really kind of shed some light on that idea. And the answer, if you don't know it already, is no. Bitcoin cannot do everything. And I'm not talking about smart contracts and all that other jazz. I mean, like, for what it was designed to do, there's only so much volume it can handle. Let's check it out. I'll tell you what, I'm actually going to skip right over this Cointelegraph article and take us straight into the Lightning Network white paper. All right, and the reason being is because it says on here very specifically, if you give me a second, the Bitcoin blockchain holds great promise for distributed ledgers, but the blockchain as a payment platform by itself cannot cover the world's commerce anytime in the near future. The blockchain is a gossip protocol whereby all state modifications to the ledger are broadcast to all participants. It is through this gossip protocol that consensus of the state, everyone's balances, is agreed upon. If each node in the Bitcoin network must know about every single transaction that occurs globally, that may create a significant drag on the ability of the network to encompass all global financial transactions. It would instead be desirable to encompass all transactions in a way that doesn't sacrifice the decentralization and security that the network provides. The payment network Visa achieved 47,000 peak transactions per second on its network during the 2013 holidays, and currently averages hundreds of millions per day. Currently, Bitcoin supports less than 7 transactions per second, with a 1 megabyte block limit. If we use an average of 300 bytes per Bitcoin transaction and assumed unlimited block sizes, an equivalent capacity to peak Visa transaction volume of 47,000 transactions per second would be nearly 8 gigabytes per Bitcoin block every 10 minutes on average, continuously. That would be over 400 terabytes of data per year. Clearly, achieving Visa-like capacity on the Bitcoin network isn't feasible today. No home computer in the world can operate with that kind of bandwidth and storage. If Bitcoin is to replace all electronic payments in the future, and not just Visa, it would result in outright collapse of the Bitcoin network, or at best, extreme centralization of Bitcoin nodes and miners to the only ones who could afford it. The centralization would then defeat aspects of network decentralization that make Bitcoin secure, as the ability for entities to validate the chain is what allows Bitcoin to ensure ledger accuracy and security. This is a problem for Bitcoin. It's great and it's popular, but if it can't do what it's built to do, then somebody's going to have to do it. Vertcoin basically shares Bitcoin's code and can go anywhere Bitcoin can go. So why not? It's already on the Lightning Network. I mean, the Lightning Network is still being built, but Vertcoin's already compatible with it, just like Bitcoin is. Litecoin. And that's my point. Bitcoin can't handle all those transactions by itself. We're going digital. The world is going digital. Demand is going to be brought to Bitcoin. And if it can't handle it, other coins are going to have to step in. Other coins like Litecoin, Vertcoin, to fill the void, to take care of the transactions that Bitcoin can't handle. Even if the Lightning Network is built out, Vertcoin and Litecoin will be participating. They will be used. Believe it. We've got the fundamentals, we've got the vision, and we get results. All of which is made possible by the Vertcoin community, which is why I want to give a quick shout out to the official Vertcoin YouTube channel. Kanan, the marketing manager for Vertcoin, has been phenomenal in maintaining this thing, getting us up-to-date information on everything that's been going on. While we were waiting for Verthash, it was kind of painful waiting for those updates. Which that actually was part of the reason I decided to start a Vertcoin YouTube channel, was just to kind of be able to fill in where Kanan can't necessarily, just to kind of be able to pump out, you know, 1 or 2 videos a week and just kind of fill the community in on what's going on with the Vertcoin, so that way he doesn't have to take away from what he's doing to try to put together a whole Vertcoin talk video and try to, you know, set up interviews and all that other kind of stuff to make it entertaining and informative. I'm basically just a fanboy with nothing better to do, so I don't mind. Also, be sure to hit us up in the Discord chat. This is a fantastic resource. I know we throw it out there a lot. The Discord chat is amazing. I've had to use it for different issues that I've had with my mining software, and even when I've had issues mining Ethereum, I've been able to come in here and ask people, you know, hey, what's going on with my rig? Whatever the case may be. The chat has been getting moderated a lot more, with a lot more scrutiny here lately, which is fantastic to me, because I've gotten frustrated with the Discord chat from time to time just because it feels like there's just a bunch of blah 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 and nonsense going on in there. But it has cleaned up quite a bit here lately, which I think is great, as providing a much more inclusive environment for new and old Vertcoin holders alike. And with that, ladies and gentlemen, it is time for me to shuffle on out of here. I do appreciate all of you for sticking around to this point. Please be sure to like, comment below, and subscribe if you haven't done so already. We're at like 97 subscribers right now while I'm recording this right now, so just below 100. Let's go ahead and try to get over that threshold. I appreciate it very much. If you're my 100th subscriber, please be sure to comment below. I want to remember that. It's going to be awesome. All right, so I appreciate all of you. Thanks for sticking around. I will see you in the next one. Vertcoin Core out.